So throughout the 50s and 60s, gayness was mostly in the shadows. It was underground and in many places illegal. Okay. There were precious few spaces that queer people had that we could actually be ourselves. And those spaces were often targeted by the police. One of those places was the Stonewall Inn, a popular meeting spot for gay, lesbian, and trans folks in Greenwich Village in New York City. And in 1969, after being fed up with years of police harassment and abuse, a group of people, especially trans women of color, such as Marsha P. Johnson, decided to fight back. Tensions erupted, riots and protests ensued for several days after, and that moment was the beginning of the gay rights movement. A year later, to mark the one-year anniversary of the Stonewall riots in 1970, the first Pride March, not parade, it was a Pride March, took place in New York City as an act of resistance, visibility, and defiance. Basically, the gist was we're showing people we're not going anywhere. We're still here. A year later, this is still happening. And that's how it all began. That's how Pride began. And at the same time, similar things were happening all over the world in cities across Europe as well. So we're not just talking about the US here. So over the years, Pride has evolved. Okay, that was 1970 was the first Pride March. It became a reason to celebrate the community, right? We kept banded together. The trans folks, the lesbians, and the gays. At the time, there was no like LGBTQ plus IA kind of alphabet. So we kind of band together. We organized politically. We got more active, socially active. And yeah, we became a reason to celebrate the community. During the 80s and 90s, it was also a place for mourning at the height of the AIDS crisis. There's still elements of protest throughout this time. So, you know, at the time it was protesting the government negligence of HIV/AIDS. Throughout the 2000s, it became really a space for protesting and advocating for marriage right equality. But yeah, since those 55 years since Stonewall, the LGBTQIA plus 2S community went from largely being invisible, underground, hidden to far more mainstream and accepted. And that's a pretty short time if you think about it. And so here we are in 2025. Bigotry, prejudice, and hate are alive and well. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And when I pulse check the community lately, all over the world, there are a lot of people who are worried, truly, and they have anxiety and a lot of fear because services that people rely on are being taken away. Freedoms and rights are being challenged and stripped away. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, rights aren't rights if they can be taken away. All we really have are temporary privileges. So that's why I wanted to have this conversation about what pride actually means in 2025. What is the meaning of pride? I think somewhere along the way, we got confused. Did we get too party focused? Did it get too commercialized? Did we disconnect from our roots? Are we too fragmented as an LGBTQIA plus community? And is pride even relevant anymore?